Hey guys, Late Boy Scout here, bringing you another knife review. Today we're looking at the Kershaw Volt II. Now, I don't have any experience with the Volt I, so I can't make this a comparison review and talk about the different features of that one compared to this one very much, but I know a little bit about it. In fact, it was recently reviewed by a YouTube friend of mine whose name I'll put in annotation over there. And what I know about it is it's very, very large compared to this knife. It's considerably larger than this knife, and made with different materials. The blade is like a combined, of two different types of steel. The handle is totally different material. I think titanium. I might have that wrong, but anyway, a much larger knife, and materials are very different. I think as far as the shape, that's probably what was maintained and kept, and the reason why this is called the Volt II, because the shape of it, sort of the vectors that make up that shape, are probably identical and just scaled down into this one. But again, I don't really want to talk and compare the two knives, so let's go ahead and get on with this review. I was pretty excited about this knife when I first saw it online, as I am with pretty much every knife that I buy. I'm usually checking it out online and looking forward to it and going, yeah, I want that knife, and when is it going to become available, and so on and so forth, and when am I going to have the money to buy it, and all that kind of thing. And when I got it in hand and pulled it out of the box, I was somewhat disappointed. I'm just going to let that one straight out of the gate right now. Yeah, I'm somewhat disappointed with this knife. Alright, so let's go down some talking points here. The size and weight of this knife and the specifications. This knife weighs 3.4 ounces. The blade is about 3 1/8 inch, and closed it is about 3 7/8. Okay, that's a good size. All those dimensions are pretty good. But here's the big but. Everybody's got a big but, Simone. And here's the big but. Those dimensions aren't what really matter here. Not in my opinion. The dimension that makes a big difference is this one right here. What? Is that really about 1/2 inch wide? Holy crap. Why? Just why? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know why this thing is a full 1/2 inch wide. Is that really that wide for a knife? Let's see. Designed by R.J. Martin, by the way. Let's see some other R.J. Martin designed knives. Well, here's the Kershaw Blitz. How wide is it? It looks to be almost the same width, but I'm going to say it's less. It is less. No, it's definitely less. Slightly less. Maybe like, a couple 1/16 of an inch less. But it's less. It's less wide than this shorter knife. Okay? This one's less wide. Oh boy. We're not off to a good start here. This one is less wide. Okay, It's a bigger blade, bigger handle, and it's not as wide. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, well, that's a fluke, right? Well, let's look at the Kershaw Zing. Whoa, dude. Yeah, also not as wide. Let's measure. Yeah, considerably less wide. Considerably less. Also R.J. Martin designed here. Also R.J. Martin designed, and the Kershaw Chill, one of my favorite current EDC blades. R.J. Martin designed, and very reminiscent, I think, of the Volt and the Volt II, shape-wise, blade shape-wise, everything-wise, very, very reminiscent, I'd have to say. Let's look at that width here. Holy moly. That's quite a thin knife. Quite a thin handle. It really is. I mean, that's pretty much the reason why this is one of my favorite EDC knives right now. Because of how thin it is. Now, when that gets in your pocket, it just disappears and you never feel it there. It's wonderful. I absolutely love that about this knife. How wide is this, by the way? Going on, it's a little over 1/2 inch. In some points, it's right about 1/2 inch. Okay, and that's pretty much what you're looking at with this knife. Does this end the show for you? I'm just going to tell you guys, it does end the show for me. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to carry this knife. It's just too dang wide. I feel it's extremely wide. Holy moly, you know what? Did I say half an inch? That's closer to, I'm looking at it outside of the viewfinder now, that's closer to 5/8, 5/8 inch wide. That's just ridiculous. Redonkulous, man. Totally redonkulous. Okay, well, that's pretty much where it ends for me. That's why I'm not so excited about this knife, is the width of that handle. Should we move on anyway? Let's go ahead and move on anyway. Materials, ACR 13 MOV steel is a good steel in my opinion, and I'm happy with that type of steel. So you know, I think you should be too. Made in China, but so what? Locking mechanism is liner lock, you know, and it feels very strong. Somewhat early there on this particular specimen, and that doesn't bother me. It feels nice and strong. Has the blade shape. Well, you know, it's a great blade shape. I think it is a wonderful, nice blade shape. You know, I like this swedge, that cutout there. Allows you to have a nice sharp tip there. Really cool blade shape. Actually, I think I like it a lot. I wish, cosmetically speaking, that it had this curvature in the grind right here. I wish it had that curvature. I'm not sure why it doesn't. Perhaps price point, you know, maybe they couldn't quite get that price point with that sort of machining. Okay, you know, maybe that's the case. I understand. It's okay. I forgive you. The blade shape is really, really nice, though. I think it really is. The grind, hollow ground, as I can sense it there, hollow ground. A good fine edge right here. Good fine edge. Nice and sharp. Nice fine edge. I like it. I like that blade shape a lot, actually. The blade on the Kershaw Volt II has got a wonderful bead blasted finish on it. And I've seen that on a number of other Kershaw knives. It's beautiful. I think it really is. One of my favorite things about that is it doesn't really leave any fingerprints as you touch it. And that's cool. I mean, I'm constantly looking at my Kara 2 and trying to wipe off the fingerprints from it. And you know, other knives that don't have a finish like this. You know, I think it's a great detail that overall makes your knife look a lot nicer. Some variations of this model, basically two. There's this one, and then there's the one that has the combo edge, you know, where it's partly serrated. Let's look under the hood and see if we got some skeletonizing. We've got a little bit right over there on that side. You can see that. Some weight removed there, a little bit there as well. But that's about it. Maybe there towards the back, I can barely see it. Yeah, behind the locking mechanism. There's some, I think. I think so. Yeah, there is. Yeah, you can see it now. Okay, so they lighten this thing up as, well, a fair bit. They might have been able to do better. The lockup on this knife is bank vault-like, as tight as you can ask for. And the fit and finish of it, you know, it's a great looking knife. I think it is. I think this back strap feels nice, looks good. You know, I wouldn't mind a full flow through design. But then again, this doesn't bother me at all. It really doesn't bother me much at all. Yeah, and again, the blade is a good looking blade, but just that one, you know, I kind of like to have this curvature that you see there at the bottom of it. Kind of like to see that. But as far as, you know, that's a design matter more, not so much a fit and finish matter. As far as the fit and finish, it's tight. It's very good. How does it feel in hand? It feels great because it's nice and chunky. It fills up your hand. You know, the jimping feels nice. Everything about it feels good in your hand. So if that's all you're concerned about, carryability, you're not so worried about, okay, you're going to be all right with this because it feels good in your hand. Deployment mode and speed, all via flipper, and it is spring assisted, so that's very cool. I like spring assisted knives. You know, you don't have to have a spring assisted knife in order for it to come out quick. The chill comes out nice and quick, and it doesn't have a spring in it. Same goes with the zing, comes out nice and fast, no spring whatsoever. However, I'll take a spring when you can give it to me for a good price. I would rather have had thinner handles though. Let's talk retention and safety. Well, you know, this pocket clip is nice and tight, extremely tight actually. So that's going to retain very well in your pocket. You might actually want to loosen that up a bit. I don't know. You know, and the grippiness of the handle will assist with that. Also, some nice jimping here and the finger choil area, the area where you release the liner lock. And some nice jimping on the spine. Not excessive, but effective in my opinion. In my experience, it feels good. So yeah, retention and safety, you're set. You're good to go. The tip again is nice and sharp and the edge is very fine. The clip design is fine, I suppose. It is repositionable, so it can be tip up carry. And carryability, that's my number one humongous hit against this. I think that handle is way too thick. Way thicker than it ever needed to be. I'd be very, very happy if it were this thin. And I would be accepting of it if it were this thin, and I would be thrilled if it were this thin. But it's not. It's great. It's this giant chunky thing. Oh well. EDC knife. Yeah, if you don't mind the bulk in the pocket, yeah, definitely an EDC knife. What else? A work knife, perhaps. A little bit pretty for a work knife, but maybe you don't mind. Aesthetics and cool factor. It is good looking. It is. It's very good looking. Good looking. The handle feels good. Feels good in hand. You know, it's what is the material on this? It's an injected molded polyamide, which, you know, doesn't feel anything like G10 obviously, but for what it is, it's actually somewhat grippy. It's actually somewhat okay in hands. So yeah, aesthetically and as far as the feel in hand, you know, I'm for it. It works for me. It does have a nice lanyard hole there as well, and screw construction so you can totally take it apart. Also very cool. How's it going to perform as an EDC knife? And the reputation of Kershaw. I think Kershaw's got a great reputation. I love a lot of their knives. As you can see, I have several, and this is just the ones I remembered to take out. Yeah, I think Kershaw's got a great reputation for knives. They do really well. I think they failed a little bit with that thick handle. But otherwise, it's a nice knife. It is quite a nice knife, and I think it's going to perform fairly well for you as an EDC knife, as long as you don't mind the bulk in pocket. For the price, it's not bad. 25 bucks, 26 bucks is the median price that I've found. The median current price. MSRP is something like $40. So 25 bucks is not a bad price for this knife. And the quality of it in relation to that price, is very good. I'm going to say it's very good. It's great quality for that price. This knife costs considerably more, and I would not say that the quality of this tops this. So there you go, guys. This is the Kershaw Volt II. It's a pretty cool knife, man. I think it's a good follow-up. It's a good sequel to the Volt as far as being more EDCable, more carryable, more affordable for sure. But I think they just missed a few things and kind of forgot that it's going to be a carried blade. Let's make that as thin as it can be and as easy to put in your pocket as we can make it. So that's the one big miss, and yeah, it's kind of big enough miss for me that I don't think I'm going to keep this thing. I don't think I am. Well, there you go, guys. That's my review of the Kershaw Volt II. I'm the Late Boy Scout. Thanks for watching. We'll see ya.